Hey guys, how you going? Welcome back to Walkmen Comics. It's Isaac here from Walkmen Comics, and today I'm gonna be doing another comic review of the new 52 Flash series, the first volume. And if you're wondering why this isn't a podcast being uploaded, like I know we upload a podcast each weekend. I don't really know what's going on because we just haven't really had that much time to just sit down and record the podcast. Like we tried to do one on Skype and just it didn't really work because the internet was kind of messed up, and we're gonna have one next weekend, I hope. Sorry about this. We're gonna try and be sort of more, I don't know what the word is, sort of organized with the way that we do it, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, this comic review, the new 52 Flash Volume 1, it's called Move Forward. I really like that name, actually. It's quite a nice name. It's really cool. And it's written by Francis Manapul. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. It's like Manapul, I don't know. And the art is by Brian Buccellato, whatever. They're both really cool they're both really good at what they do, because the story is like really good. It's a great thing from the new 52. Like I've heard from some friends that the new 52 wasn't really the best time for DC. I don't really know. I haven't really read any other new 52 comics. Like The Flash is the only new 52 comic that I've read, because like I only sort of seriously got into comics like about 2 years ago, so that was like after the time of the new 52. I think I don't really know, that sort of time period or that sort of part of comic book knowledge from DC isn't really that familiar to me. So, but the story is still good. Let's talk about that. So yeah, the story, I'm not really gonna go too much in depth with that, because I want you guys to pick it up yourself, support the people who make it, because they put a lot of work into it and they deserve to be supported by it, so pick this up. But basically, it starts off when Barry Allen has been the Flash for quite some time, actually. I think like 5 years he's been the Flash. Like it says it on the back, like it just quickly glosses over his backstory. It just says, struck by a bolt of lightning and doused in chemicals, Central City police scientist Barry Allen was transformed into the fastest man alive. But there are some things even the Flash can't outrun. That's basically just really glossing over his backstory. Like they're not even wasting any time. They're just quickly just being like, oh yeah, he was doused in chemicals and hit by lightning. That's how he has his powers. Like they're not really talking about his origin and stuff, and that's really good, I think, because basically we already know Flash's backstory. Like there's the TV show that's really popular. If people didn't know about it before then, most people just even knew it even before then, because he's a pretty well-known hero, and he's been around since like the 1950s or the 1960s. I don't even know, but I think it's around about that time that he's been around, so we know his backstory. Well, Barry Allen has been around since then. The first Flash was Jay Garrick, but I don't really know much about him. But the Flash, Barry Allen, like everyone knows his backstory. He's the most famous Flash, so probably because of the TV show contributes a lot to that. But I'm sort of getting off track here. Sorry about that, but. It sort of quickly does that, because longtime fans obviously know his story. New people sort of get a good sort of understanding of his story, and they can still sort of read about that a little bit in the blurb on the back. And you don't really need to understand his backstory to understand the story of the comic that much, because it doesn't really reference his backstory too much. But that's basically what happens, and it starts out really well. I'm gonna talk about the art style. The art is really amazing. It's sort of I guess, a little bit unique. Like, it has its sort of own aspects to it. Something I really like about Brian Buccellato's art style, if that's how you say his name. I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name and you know how to say his name. Yeah, the art style is really cool. Like, what he does is he gets like an outline, like a black outline around, say, a person. Like, say if he was drawing a person, he gets a black outline around the edge of them, but then on the inside, like, he doesn't really have any black lines because I don't know why, that just works really well for this. It's just really cool. And when it's sort of mundane, like, not mundane, what am I saying, like, if it's just Barry Allen just chilling out, it like works really well with him, like when he's not the Flash. And then it also works really well, like, he does something really cool, like when he's running, like you only get to see the front part of him, you know, and then like from behind it just sort of blurs into the distance. And there's this really cool frame. It has him running, and it just has like a bit of text, and it's like talking about his backstory, and that's like blurred into the background as he's running. I really like that. And there's also something really cool, like there's what's his name, Manuel. He's one of the guys in the story. He's works really well in this story because he personally knows Barry Allen. And like when it's talking about like their backstory, like how they interacted, like when he was younger, the art style is really cool because it looks like it's like being done in watercolor, you know, and I don't know, it just looks amazing like that. I don't know, it's just, I'll put a picture on the screen. It looks really cool. And there's also this other frame, like when he's running through the city, like you can just see like his head and like the outline of his arm and like a yellow line, and it's like blurring with like red lightning. It looks awesome. I just think it looks really cool. The art is amazing, you know. And one of my favorite panels is when he's on the bridge and there's like a plane that's like falling down towards the city, and it just has him looking up, and you can see the plane in the background like flying downwards, and it just has him saying, "Oh hell," you know. It works really well. I don't know, it's just really cool. And then I think there's this other one. Pretty sure they used the cover for one of the issues and put it in here. And it's has what's the name? It just has the outline of the plane, but it has the text Flash on it, and it has like a few panels like edited into there. And it says The Flash in Lights Out. It's really cool. It's the front page for Lights Out. It looks awesome, and I don't know, just something about the art is really cool. On the cover page, on the first cover page, the art looks really cool because that's what they use for the volume. But like for the issues, the art is a bit different, but I don't care. That works well for the issues actually. And yeah, it's really cool what happens because I don't know, I just really like this story. Manuel is a great character. Basically what they were doing was he's like some people thought he was like the ultimate soldier or whatever. I haven't read this in a while, that's why I'm starting to forget stuff, but like they created loads of clones of him, and like they cut off his limbs to like so he could regrow them and stuff, and and then like all the clones of him were like sort of soldiers, and what happens were they were dying quickly because they're clones. That's basically what happens when you clone people, and they were like blaming him for it, and like yeah, that's basically what happens with Manuel. I think it's kind of good that I don't really remember too much about it, because like I'm just gonna sort of gloss over it anyway. Like you don't need to sort of look at it. I'm saying glossed over it quite a lot, aren't I? I need to stop, but yeah, there's that. And then there's also like when he puts on his suit, like it looks really cool how it sort of forms around his head. It just looks really cool. I don't know why. I just really like it. I'll put a picture on the screen of that. And then let me show you. Let me tell you about another one. something else. I have the volume open right now. I'm just looking through it. Have some pages sort of with bookmarks in them that I was going to talk about. Where's the next picture? Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's this really cool thing when they're just in the desert on vehicles like dune buggies or whatever, and they're using like sails to move it forward, and the art looks really cool. I mean, it's not the art, it's just a really cool concept, you know. They think of some great stuff, and yeah, I don't know, I just really like this comic. There is something else. The next person in the story after that whole arc with Manuel is what's his name? Captain Cold. He's in it, and basically what happened was the city, Central City, was had a blackout, had like this massive blackout because of this electrical pulse, and I think that's what it was. And what happened was there was Captain Cold. What happened? I don't really remember his name. I'll have to look back on it, but I want to see if it says it on the back. Does it say it on the back? I don't know. I'm not gonna try and remember that. But what happened was his sister was dying of cancer, and like the doctors could cure it. The doctors would be able to sort of I guess help her, but like they couldn't really, because the city was in a blackout, and they can't really operate on any machines because there isn't any electricity. And he just sort of went crazy, you know, like, because he was obviously really close to his sister, and like it just really hurt him that he lost her. And he blames the Flash for it because like he created the sort of electric pulse, and he wanted to kill the Flash. And at the time in the comic, what happened was it was Barry Allen, Iris, and I don't remember her name, the other girl. I know they were just on this ship that was like docked in the city, and they were just like eating lunch or something. I don't remember, but yeah, they were just there in the city, and then like Captain Cold like freezes the entire river, and like the ship gets like half of the ship gets like blown into the sky, and like it's really cool. Like you get to see what's the name? They're like up in the sky, and like Barry Allen like quickly puts on his suit and like tries to save them, and he doesn't manage to save Iris, and he accidentally creates some sort of vortex or some sort of portal because he goes so fast, and like she gets sucked into the portal, and yeah, Iris is gone, but for now she's gone. Let's just say that. I don't know, I haven't read the second volume. Oh, more on that later. But yeah, she gets sucked into the portal, and yeah, he's lost. He doesn't know where Iris is. And then there's this really cool quote like towards the end of the volume. Captain Cold was like pushed under the ice, like into the water, and he's like almost like passed out. He's like freezing, and then just as Flash is about to like punch him in the face, like he's on the ground, he's about to punch him, he says, he's like explaining about his sister. Sorry, she didn't have cancer, she had a tumor. Sorry, I didn't really remember that, but he says, oh, my sister had a tumor or something, and he says, have you ever lost someone, Flash? I mean, really lost someone that you do. And then like Flash cuts him off, and he's like, anything to save? Yes. Cold, I have more than you'll ever know. I'm sorry about your sister, Leonard. That's his name, Leonard. But no matter how much we hurt, we need to know where to draw the line. Your sister is one of thousands in a hospital suffering right now during this city-wide blackout. I'm working on a solution to help them. This is not the way. Like, this is after he's like frozen over the entire river, and that's a really good quote. I just really like that, you know. It's really awesome. And like at the end he says, surrender peacefully and I'll do everything in my power to save your sister. I might not be able to change the past, but I'll sure as hell do what I can to affect the future. That is a really cool quote, you know, especially coming from the Flash. Like, because of all the stuff he's involved in now with the timeline, with like time travel and stuff. It like sort of plays a bit of a role in that, and that is so cool. I don't know why, it's just like that moment was just like, it's like one of those moments in a movie or a comic, like I talk about this quite a bit, you might be able to hear it on the podcast, just like one line that someone says and inside you just feel like, oh, that's awesome, you know, like just something that someone says, like that's one of those moments, like when he says that, I can sure as hell affect the future. I find that really cool. But yeah, anyway, I read this volume, and then like as I got to the end of it, like after I finished it, I think I read it twice, I don't remember, probably because I really liked it, but then I'm just like, oh, I need to have more of this story, it's really cool. Oh yeah, something I forgot to explain. So what happens was he wants to sort of go after Iris, so what he does is he manages to create another portal, and he jumps into it, and like he accidentally enters the Speed Force, where there's this other guy in there who's been trapped in there. I don't remember what his name is. He was in the what's the name, the US Army Air Force in 1944, and then like he accidentally, and there was just this random vortex that like trapped him in there. His name was something, his last name was Hines, I think. I'm just looking at it now, it just has a guy going like Hines with a question mark, but yeah, that's what he's saying. So yeah, I think his name's Hines, I don't know, I'll just call him that. But yeah, he was trapped inside of the Speed Force, and the Speed Force is really cool. Like it has vortexes to like other times and other places that's been created where time has sort of been warped, and I think it's the Flash's fault. And like this guy has been trapped in there for so long, and he's just like, Flash, you need to help me get out of here. He's like strangling him. Like when he first meets him, he's just like, you're my ticket out of here, get out of here. And I don't really know what's going on. I don't know, it's like, it's really cool though. And what happens is he manages to escape, and like creates this, goes through this other vortex, and you get to see like when he goes through, like one of his little earpiece things, like the little lightning bolt thing on the side of his helmet, like that has a little earphone in it where he can like talk to people. It's really cool. But he drops that when he goes through the vortex, and you get to see Iris and like 3 of the other people who were sucked into the portal. Like she finds it and she picks it up, and then like finds out that it's him. But then he lands on the planet where Gorilla Grodd is. I don't really know much about Grodd, but yeah, I don't know, I just find that cool. They sort of end it on a cliffhanger, but it has him, and he's just like, I am King Grodd, like after he's beaten up like I think it's his dad, like to sort of prove himself or something in a ceremony, and then you just get to see Barry Allen just fall on the floor, and I don't know, just something about that, such a simple cliffhanger. Just you see him once just falling into that place, and I don't know, it makes you want to see more, and it does that perfectly. They don't have the variant covers at the end of the volume, but what they do have is like these little pages where they sort of planned it, like they planned out the story, and it looks really cool. It's really inspiring, you know, just looking at the little plan of the story. Like, this is the reason why I make comics, is because of this sort of inspiring stuff. But yeah, it just looks really cool, all the little sketches that they did, and like they have some concept art on the back instead of variant cover art. I don't mind, it looks really cool. And I don't remember seeing this before, but I'm just looking at this now, like I'm looking at the Lights Out cover, how they planned that. That's kind of really cool, because I like the Lights Out cover. But anyway, that's pretty much my opinion, my thoughts on the story. I think this is the 4th comic review that we've made, and I know that we've just talked about comics that we like. I should talk about something that I think I don't really like, because people are going to be like, oh, you're not really critical enough, you're not proper critics or whatever. I mean, we're not critics, but like, you're too nice, you're too kind, you need to review something normal. We so far we've just reviewed comics that we like, you know, because that makes us want to talk about it, because, you know, like when you have something that you find out that you really like, that makes you really want to talk about it, you know. And yeah, I think that's just the reason why we wanted to do comic reviews. But yeah, sorry that we didn't upload a podcast. Like I said, we just haven't been that organized. But yeah, sorry about that. But also we haven't uploaded anything on Wednesday. I uploaded the video on Monday about the response to what PewDiePie said about Marvel. And yeah, I just wanted to upload that really soon, because like it's gonna go irrelevant a bit soon. So yeah, I wanted to put that up. And yeah, so unless I have something else to say that I don't remember, yeah, we should be back to the normal sort of format next week. Sorry about this. Next weekend there should be another podcast, so don't worry, it's probably gonna be all good. And yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So yeah, just pick up this volume, it's really cool. The Flash Volume 1, Move Forward, and I just picked up Volume 2 today. I haven't touched it yet, but I'm gonna read it like as soon as I finish editing this video. And I'm looking at how long I've been talking for. I didn't even realize I've been talking for 20 minutes. Like, I really got off on a few tangents and like spent ages talking about this, because I really like it, you know. And I'm thinking of like sort of something to say of where it fell short. I don't know, it's probably gonna come into my mind like after I finished it. I don't know. I don't know. I can't really think of anything, you know. Probably because it's not really that fresh in my mind. I want to review Volume 2 when like that's fresh in my mind though. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. So yeah, thank you for watching. You can follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on whatever the other one is. Do we even have another one? We have Facebook, but we never use that because yeah, it's pretty old. But just Twitter and Instagram. That's the main stuff. I'm on Twitter. Pat's on Instagram. So yeah, you can follow us on that. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.